Okay, here we are in our first Trading After Dark premiere, and I'm going to recap afternoon sequence. Got a lot of questions and comments in terms of trading small sizes. Everybody knows that, or most people do, that I trade pretty decent volumes and have over the years, but certainly if the skill can be acquired, there's no question that it's all scalable. And so we're going to take a $75,000 account this afternoon, and by the margin calculations, we'll be able to trade a maximum of 30 contracts. And so let's see, we've got FOMC action here this afternoon, and I'll walk you through what I did, and we'll talk quite a bit as this goes on. I'm watching the replay and narrating to it as you're seeing it. Looking to typically trade first moves down, first scalp, using tick as a guide, using price supports as a guide, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and get long 15 contracts on this pause right here at 93. There's the order that kicks in, and just going to scalp it out. You can see I've got orders above the market. Going to play the first one pretty tight. Usually you can get one or two of these in over the course of the action, and certainly have what we would call in the jelly room a tub support zone of 90, 92 roughly, based on earlier price action. So you'll see I'll trade this out again, not looking for home runs, just looking to take advantage of wholesale price action. There's 5 out at what's that, 350. We'll try to get 375 or 4 up here. And you can see I've got orders in above the market, hoping it'll grab it, but if it doesn't, you'll see I move it down there to 375, which will hit, and then I've got the remainder up at 5, just in case it does pop. And we'll see what happens to that. There's the 375 getting taken out, and just kind of watching the market here a bit. If this doesn't pop, the intent really would be to bail on it. 3-line break indicator, which is in the lower left, certainly indicator the jellies are familiar with, has not yet quite turned up, representing right now a trend to the downside on a 1-minute basis. So I'm aware of that, really not comfortable doing much more on the long side unless I see that trade sufficiently high enough such that that triggers a reversal. So you'll see I'm kind of watching this here, and actually in a little bit you'll actually see me bail on it. But right now I've got that order in above market at 95. As we're watching this again, a lot of questions in terms of scaling and sizing, and we're looking at a very modest account here. Only have 15 contracts really committed so far, trading half of what I'm allowed to. You'll see I'm trying to get a fill here at 4 1/4, which it will not fill. And when it didn't fill there, that's going to give me some cause for concern. You can see the market coming back down. We've got 3-line break, which is still short, lower left box again. And again, you'll actually see me bailing on the rest of this and try to set up another sequence. So we were in at 93. First exit 350, second exit 375, and still trying to get out of this one here. But if it loses that opening price, in terms of the position opening price, I'm going to go ahead and bail on the rest of it, reassess, and look for a better opportunity. You can see I'm not getting filled on the offer, and nobody can tell a weak market better than someone who's trying to get out of a long. So we are going to go ahead and close that position out here shortly. So it's a fun little sequence here this afternoon. Again, taking it very seriously, but certainly minding the indicators that we have in front of us. Dow right around that 12,000 level. ES approaching 1,300. Okay, there's the bail on that. Now you'll see I've got this 30 lot, and down below I'm really going to trust that 90 level, and if this thing spikes down there, I'm going to scoop that with a reassessment if we indeed lose that 1290 level. And that's the idea. So if it shoots back down there at a wholesale level, I can get that. If not, and I believe what you're going to see here in the very near future is my just getting in here at market. Watching the ticks on the left-hand side, again coming down close to minus 700, support in the 90 to 92 zone. So let's see what's going to happen here. Again, hoping to get that quick, sharp move down. That's the rhythm that we've been seeing in the market lately. And getting a little bit of a pause here. I've been using pauses a lot lately to time entries. If we're at wholesale levels, if we've got strengthening divergences on tick or on momentum indicators. And so I'm certainly noticing that. Again, I've got this this order at 90.50 that I'm trying to grab. Really thought that might shoot down there. That would have been a really prime opportunity. You can see, by the way, as we're waiting to do this, that there I'm starting to get orders in. Okay, so I got in 10 at 150. Just get something on the darn thing, right? I can trade 30, so I want to get at least 10 on. And in fact, I'd actually like to be in a little bit longer than this. I took 5 off right away, getting that pop back more toward the retail situation, getting out of that wholesale opportunity or wholesale zone. Still have 5 in. And at some point I'm going to want to get in back more than that. I've got 3-line break again. I've got a concern there, lower left. This thing trades sufficiently high enough where that triggers, then I may bail on the rest of this. You can see I've got that 5 lot way above market in case I got a nice spike. And but until this thing turns, I'm going to go ahead and respect any retail pops here. I've got the good wholesale entry. I was going to say, you can see I actually started the sequence. It was negative on the day in this particular account. You can see that in the lower right-hand box position. Okay, I took 3 off there. Got 2 to go. Again, watching 3-line break in the lower left. Expecting long entries, so not really too interested in shorts at this point. We've got the polar path of least resistance in our favor. We've got the 90-92 zone in our favor. We've got the general bias of the market, which we've had for many days now. So again, just watching this. Again, lower left-hand or lower right-hand box. So you've got the contract open position +2. P&L, that's ticks times number of contracts for the day. P&L dollar, which is realized dollar, and then the U-P&L LT means unrealized P&L based on the last trade price in dollars. Again, got out of most of that. Got a couple to go here. Keeping an eye on the tick. Tick putting in a bit of a triangle here. Really testing both sides of the 0 line. And looking for any long signals. If I can get a wholesale long before the trend turn, then great. We'll trade that out. If I can get the trend actually turning, and more opportunity for anything more than just a range boundary type scalp, then I'll want to get back in again. Not getting too crazy here. Trading again a very small percentage of available capital. So we're in 10, got 2 contracts to go. Again, a lot of people think that you got to be trading significant size. You're going to be trading hundreds of contracts. And what I'm trying to show this afternoon is certainly once the skill is acquired, that is not the case at all. Still have not got a trend turn here, although I'm trying to get long here. I feel good about the market and the pace. I'm trying to get long here at least a little bit more. See if I can get another 5 on. There we go. So I've got 7 on. You can see I've moved my cursor down to the 91.50 zone just in case that last price low starts to give way. I'm going to exit and reassess. I feel good about the price level down there, watching the action. Don't have that trend turn yet, so I've got to be a little cautious with that. Can't go too crazy. and got my orders up above in case I get what I'm looking for here. You never know when that market's going to give you that pop, so you might as well get your orders in there. In this spiky market, once you hit some of these price levels, often the case you never see them again. My first shot at narrating while watching my own recording. Please bear with me. I'm sure down the road I'll get better at this. I'm watching that tick there. Really, I'm moving the offer down, expecting to get one decent tick move to the north to exit. And if this thing really shoots up and starts looking like it's going to go for new highs, then I'll get in under that different premise. But I'm still in here under the premise of wholesale range boundary scalp until I get a 1 minute trend turn. 7 contracts. That's not a whole lot, folks. Right, modest size account. Technically, I guess I could be trading a $30,000 account with these same sizes, but I'm setting the bar at 75, giving myself maximum available contracts of 30. You can see I'm getting that tick pop now up. Going to split this exit out into a couple pieces here. Just kind of watching the action. Got rid of 2 there. I'm still concerned that this trend is not yet turned. I love that 3-line break indicator in that lower left. Well, I got 5 on still. At this point, I think I want to have something on. I want to keep something on. And if that trend starts to turn, then I'm going to go ahead and put something else on under that premise. That's the idea anyway. And if it doesn't happen, then this thing will stop. My stop right now, if I lose that price that I got in at, then I don't want to be in. I don't want to be in. And watching tick really triangle, seeing if this thing's going to. The idea was to see if this thing was going to pose for new highs. You can see I've got price popping up past that turn signal line on 3-line break, but it needs a period close. That 1 minute period has to close above that price before it's valid. It's sort of like being almost pregnant. It's impossible. It's either long or short. So 3-line break, as the jellies know, by the way, very good when you're in a trending market. Pretty terrible indicator when you're in a chop fest. But since we do have long range, long-term trends to the upside, certainly looking at using that as a bit of a signal this afternoon. Now down to 1 contract here. Feeling is, I guess, that 3-line break is going to start turning, and or it will turn, and if it does, I'm going to go ahead and get in again under that premise. See if we can go for new highs. All right. So just watching, really no risk at all. TMAR, take your money and run under certain circumstances. Certainly the case this afternoon. As a trader, traditionally I don't trade afternoons much at all. Certainly don't trade it that heavy. And do I trade larger sizes with larger accounts? Absolutely. But this afternoon, just taking a small chunk. Just kind of see if I can stay in rhythm here. And we've got 3-line break has turned. Got a green bar. So now you've got a nice situation here where really you've got anything below 91.75. I wouldn't want to be long. But now I've got that price zone down there. You can see I'm starting to put bids in down there. If this thing pops back down and doesn't get below 175 on a closed basis, then I feel good about having something in the market long. So putting myself below market, see if I catch something. If not, I may just have to go to market if I feel this thing's not going down. And ticks are telling me that it's tried, but it's not going. I'm going to want to get back in a little bit more anyway. A little cautious here in terms of sizing, even after the turn, because I'm a bit away from that stop premise. So if I get in, 93, 94 zone, expecting a pop to new highs, but I've got a risk of 91.5 roughly. That's a couple of points. That's a pretty wide leash, which I don't really care to be in a full position with that sort of a stop premise. So any entries up here, the thought anyway being that it would be on the lighter side. And ultimately here you see that I will actually get in another 10. Kind of watching the pause there again. Just went ahead and got that. And see if I can get a little bit more on here. Doing this in terms of a recap. I'm not narrating live. We'll try to do that down the road in terms of catching the action live and the narration. But really, this is more of a director's cut, taking after the trading after dark, or the poker after dark, and high stakes poker shows. So I got in, didn't get that pop to the extent that I expected, so scale back out of it. Do I like it? If I like it, I ought to be back in. I need one little more surge to the upside here. Just give me a little bit more confirmation that it's heading in my direction. I've got 3-line break on my side. See, I didn't get it there. I didn't get it there. Trying to get this 250 fish. See if we can get people that realize that it has not yet turned, barfing it out to me. Okay, now it's back up there. It tried to move down. It didn't. Tick looks okay. 3-line break looks okay. Feeling is want to get something else on here again. That last exit, just a bit of a temporary scratch. I manage my risk with re-entries. Talked a lot about that lately. Okay, so I get that 5 on. I want to be just a bit heavier. If a little bit of a tail on that 2-minute chart, lower left-hand corner. Get the 1 minute that's turned up. And the idea being that try to push this market down. Getting a little bit more price confirmation my direction here. I want to go ahead and get another 5 on. Again, I'm going to be a couple of points away from my stop premise, so I don't want to be particularly heavy. So we'll be cautious on that. If I get a better price closer to my stop price, then I'll be in heavier. That's why I got that 15 still down here. Really hoping that that's going to grab. But kind of getting to a point where if it gets down there, I'm gonna want to watch it real carefully. So what do we got on here? 6 contracts. FOMC. Wednesday afternoon. Keep it light. I'm getting this pause again here. Tick up to 360 and price holding. You can see that triangle on the tick chart. Bit of an ascending triangle by my read anyway. Let's see if I can add to my position a little bit. Got to add to your position when you get confirmation. Otherwise, you'll be sized the smallest for your losers or for your winners, and size the largest for your losers. Okay, so we get another 5 on. Now we're going to trade this out. We're just going to leave that on there. I'm not going to go in any heavier. Right. I'm a bit away from my stop premise. Totally at this point trusting the general market bias. You got to ask yourself who's stuck. In my view, any shorts that get short down below 92, 93 zone are now stuck. They're going to have to cover. They're going to have to drive the market in my direction. And if they don't, then I've got to stop in place. I'm managing my risk both with a premise-based stop and with size. You see, I've got orders above the market. Tick looking better, trying to break out of that ascending triangle. Still looking for a little bit more price action. As I'm narrating to this, obviously, and this will be the case for anything I narrate to, and I'm going to certainly include trade losses because it's a big part of the game. Okay, get rid of 5 there. See if I can get a further pop. But any trade that works out could have stopped. So this is by no way intended to be a look how good Don is. It's going to be a balanced representation of a number of different types of trades. Imagine if we had been recording the May 6th flash crash. Wouldn't that be pretty exciting to go back and look at? You got to pop up toward 1,000. I'm not getting that price, that quick price movement. So again, I'm taking my money and running, putting the dollars in the pocket. And just have some runners out there. Really looking to get this thing at least up over 5. If this can get up over 95, take a little bit off there, just in case we don't break that new high. And then if we do break that high, try to get a surge right above that. In hindsight, I'm sure you could look at this and say, well, yeah, if you'd loaded the boat at 92, 93 zone and held the whole thing, then it would have made a whole lot more. Well, that would be trying to time the market to perfection, which is all but impossible. So this is how I trade. This is how I've always traded. Again, small account size, folks. We're going to recap this when it's all done. What I really want to get through here is what's going on inside my mind, whether it is 15 contracts or whether it's 150 contracts, because it doesn't make any difference. It does not make any difference. I responded to a comment earlier today about somebody who was asking me again about sizes, and you can see I'm exiting on the way up here. And my response, frankly, is that as long as it's divisible by 3, give yourself some room for error. Lack of market perfection and lack of your perfection. So, okay, getting that pop to 95, 1 minute looks good. Got a little bit to go. Always exiting into the move. Always exiting into the move. Not looking for the bottom and not looking for the top. Trying to go after very high probability trading. I don't like to gamble. So I've got one up there at 7 1/4. Pretty much that will be the last trade for me, this particular sequence. And not that I'm looking at the P&L at all, but certainly nice for that modest account to go from negative to positive to end the day. My normal mode at this time is to start gearing up for the next day. Certainly watch how the market closes and see if we get MATD, morning after trend day, tomorrow. Market's trying to gun for new highs. Now the tendency lately has been for this thing to probe, and you'll see me trying to grab that probe. We'll certainly be doing this with larger sizes down the road, but really wanted to kick off. Yeah, you see it popped up and came back down. Decided that was time to bail. Didn't like the fact that didn't get up to where I wanted it to be, and it came down pretty quick. But I wanted to start this one with something that everybody can relate to. I've had a lot of requests recently for more commenting. And more discussion of small accounts, and that's in fact exactly what we're going to do. Don't think that you're going to take a $5,000 account and turn it into $1 million. But there's nothing incorrect with saying that once you acquire the skill, if you indeed do, then you can grow, and you can grow in size and you can grow in skill. So that was the exit of that sequence, and you now see why, certainly in this case, I always believe in exiting into the move based on what I'm looking for. But a pretty good mix this afternoon of tick and 3-line break and the general market bias and wholesale and retail market zones. And in terms of trade statistics, you'll see we've now added that to the box in the top right. And looking at what we just did, technically really had 2 sequences going flat to flat, but since it was really one setup, we'll summarize them together. We had total number of cards traded, 90. That's the total number of buys and sells. Maximum size that we had on at any point in time was 15, which was only 50% of that which we could have traded, leaving ourselves a little bit of room for error, managing risk with size at this point. And gross before commissions, 1638. Commissions, we will assume, as you see in the top portion of that box, $1. Now that's going to vary by trader based on your volume and based on your broker, so you can really plug any number you want in there. In this case, $1 per contract would have resulted in $90 for a net of $15.48, return on equity of a little over 2%. Again, anytime I show these, good or bad, please understand this is one sequence of thousands and thousands and thousands, and we'll do our best to give you an accurate representation of all of them, including losses, including brain cramps, including when our premise goes bust, including May 6th flash crash types of efforts. So, but again, to get inside my head a little bit on this afternoon, that's what we were thinking. So again, hope that helps. Have a great night. Please, let's hear your feedback. Is this good, bad, indifferent? Let me know. Let me know if this goes viral. Take care.